Hi, this is Janet with Try It Like It Created, and today I am here with the Fairy Stampers design team, and we're going to be making a card using the Firefly stamp. And this is FHS 065 Fireflies. And so I have my stamps, I have my black ink, I have a piece of Rhinea foil in gold, and I have my die, and my die says Dream Big. I have my cardstock that I've already cut, scored, and folded. And then I have a marker from Spectrum Noir in dandelion yellow, and then I have a Stabilo in black ink. And that is, both of those are going to be used to enhance the stamping when we're done. So to begin, I'm going to die cut out my piece because I need to know where that's going to sit on my card. So I'm going to bring in my mini maker from Maker's Movement, and I'll grab my sandwich here, which is the base plate, a metal plate, and the top plate. And I am just going to put my piece of Rhinea foil in there with my die, and I'm just using a scrap piece of foil. Actually, I'm going to cut this down because it looks like it's just a little bit too big. So I'm going to cut off that scrap, and then I'm going to place that. That looks better. So I'm going to place this on the metal plate, then put the A plate on top. So now that sandwich is all good and ready to go through the maker. And it looks like everything cut out great. And so I'm going to set the die aside, and I'm just going to pull this out of here, and I'm going to worry about weeding out the parts I don't need later. Okay. All right, and it looks like I have lost a little dot for my eye, and so what we're going to do is just make another one, unless it's still in here. Oh, it's still in my die. The backside was purple, and I don't know, maybe you can see it there. I'm going to leave it sitting in my die, just because it'd be easier to find it later. All right, so let me clean this up, and we'll move on to the next step. So put those plates away, put my mini maker away. All right, and now we're going to work on the works board, and we're going to be stamping on the front side of this card. So let me grab the magnets from the back. I don't know why I always forget to remove them before I get started, but we're going to put the card down here where the stamping platform is, and I'm going to hold this in place with my magnets, and I'm just going to lay the words on there so that I kind of have an idea of where I want my stamps to stamp, because I don't want to stamp into the space that I'm going to be putting my die cut. All right, so 3 little stampers here, and I'm going to do this multiple times. So I'm just going to get started here with the first set of 3. All right, and then I'm going to put my plate down to pick up those stamps. All right, and we can just leave that there. So ready to ink up and get our first impression down. Okay. I'm going to push and let them sit. And then we're going to lift them up and see how they stamped. And they look great. So now I'm just ready to put them down into the next position. So let me, I am going to grab a baby wipe here and just clean them off a little bit. And the reason I'm doing that is so that I don't smear any ink on the surface of my card, and I've already done so on my fingers, so I feel like that's a real possibility. Alright, so I'm just wiping those off a little bit, and then we'll figure out where we want to place them this time. So 3 more to stamp. Pick those up. Got a little bit of a shadow stamp there. That's okay. Like I said, that I was for sure that I was going to transfer ink with them. That's why I cleaned them off. Now I'm just inking my stamps up again. Put those down. Make sure that they stick for just a little bit. And slowly lift them up in case we need to stamp them again. That looks good. Alright. I think this will be our last round of little lightning bugs, hopefully. We'll see. See if we need more. You know, lightning bugs don't really fly around too much together in a group. I mean, they do swarm, but they don't, like, create a pattern, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. So we're going to have these little guys swarming all around our sentiment there. How are we looking? I think that's looking good. I think I want one more down here. So let me just wipe those guys off. Take them off, all except for one here. Put him right there. Alright, that's our last stamp for this project. And you can see I have my extras sitting on top of my stamp pad there, and that's okay. Alright, now with my stamping I have managed to get my hands all filthy, so let me wipe off anything that's going to come off. And then we'll work on putting our word in place. Alright, so now what we want to do is any of those little pieces that didn't come out when we were removing it from the die, we want to push those out. And you just want to use some kind of a pointy tool. My go-to here is always the lead from my pencil. And because it's the closest thing to me, that's what I usually end up grabbing to weed out these pieces. So we just want to be slow and careful. And as I said, the back side of this is purple, so if you see any purple, you know you've got the wrong side showing. Don't know if this little piece is going to come out from the bee. I don't think so. We'll just leave them embossed there, looks like. Okay. So Rhynia foil is, you know, a foil product, so I'm just bending it back into place. And then I'm going to turn it over here. And here we have a little piece stuck on there. All right, I'm going to reach across here, grab my adhesive. And use this on here. And this has a nice little metal applicator, so I'm going to get a very small amount of adhesive, which is really nice. If you don't have something like this, this is the best glue ever, with a no writing cap on it. No clog writing cap on it, sorry, I should say. Call it by the right name. There are other adhesives out there that have similar things. If you have an adhesive you like, but you just want the little applicator, they sell them separately so that you can put them on whichever kind of adhesive you want to use. You could also run your piece through a Xyron sticker maker, and that would put adhesive all over the back of it, and that works really well too. Alright, so I think we have enough there. I'm going to see if I can do this with my hands. If not, I'm going to bring in a tweezer. So I'm going to place that down and then get all the foil to line up how it's supposed to. Alright, I think that's looking good. Now we don't want to forget the little dot. And so while it's still in the die, I'm going to stick a little adhesive on it. And then I'm going to poke it out with my pencil lead. Hopefully. Now I'm going to try to pick it up with my pencil lead. And then stick that into place. And use the eraser to just stick it down. Alright, there we go. I'm collecting a lot of stuff here, but I think we're okay. I'm going to bring in my stamping platform, and I'm going to put my card on top of it because it's a smooth surface to work with. And so now I'm just going to go in and color in using my yellow, and what we want to color in is this kind of little glowy light part, right? I'm using the fine point on this marker. You could definitely use the chisel if you wanted. And now you're starting to see why I chose to work with the gold foil to go along with these little yellow glowing lightning bugs or fireflies. I'm not sure what you call them in your neck of the woods, and I know some of you don't even get them at all. Luckily, I live in the Midwest and I've grown up with these guys almost my whole life. Really enjoy seeing them at night. It's kind of a fun evening thing to do, is go out and look at the fireflies. And of course they're really fun for little kids. Alright, I dropped my black marker, so let me move and get that picked up. And then what I want to do is use this just to, create some movement with these guys. So I don't think I'm going to apply the dots for all of them. I don't know, maybe. But I like how it adds some activity, right? I don't know who I'm kidding. I'm probably going to do it to all of them because it's fun. I have a hard time stopping once I get started. So my daughter has a lot of friends that have gone off to college. She's doing her first year at home because she just wasn't sure what she wanted to do. So I have a feeling this card might be going to one of her friends who's out of town. And that would be a fun thing to do, is just to write to all of her friends. So yeah, I think I'm just about done with that. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed it.